The first chapter of this particular module, we're going to be talking about the financial manager and the firm. This will include the topics of it's all about cash, building value through financial management, forms of organization, the organizational structure, and maximizing shareholder wealth. The main topic of this whole course is going to be it's all about cash. You're going to find that cash is king, and everything that we do in this course throughout the various modules will end up focusing on cash. And as we look at productive assets, financing decisions, cash generation, and residual cash, we'll be talking about cash. There are three fundamental decisions in financial management. There are capital budgeting decisions, which relate to how are we going to allocate our resources. There are financing decisions. How are you going to finance those projects? And then the third is we make working capital management decisions as to how we manage our working capital on a day-to-day basis. As a matter of review, let's go back and talk about the forms of business organization. You first learned about these in your original finance and accounting class previously, but it's always good to review them. They fall into four categories: sole proprietorships, partnerships, corporations, and limited liability companies. You'll recall that the greatest risk is borne by the sole proprietorship, because in that particular case, the individual is solely responsible for the debts of the company. The second is a partnership, where they share the liabilities with the other partners, but not on an equal basis, because even though one partner might have more assets than the other, the creditors of the partnership can come back against any one of the partners to the extent of their assets to recover what is owed to them. In corporations, you have limited liability. In other words, the corporation is responsible for the debts of that corporation. Their shareholders have no personal liability in relationship to the shares of stock they own. The limited liability company, you'll recall, is a hybrid. It takes on the appearance of being a partnership because it's taxed at the individual partner's level, but it has the same limited liability as far as the debts of the organization are concerned that are achieved by the corporation. So a lot of small businesses today choose the limited liability company because it achieves the situation where they're not double taxed, and it also gives them the limited liability. So now let's stop and look at exercise 1-1 as a matter of review.